Oh my goodness. I am so over this wedding planning already. My family and my friends are driving me crazy. I am losing my mind. Like, oh my goodness. My mom already has so many opinions on things, where she wants to sit, what she wants to eat. And we don't even have a venue or even a date yet. And then my sister has an opinion about every single thing. Like, oh my goodness, you would think like she's the encyclopedia of wedding planning or something. And then my best friend is always asking me, what should I do? What should I help with? And I have nothing for her to do right now. Like, stop asking me. Guys. I just want to just be done, okay, with this wedding. Like, I am so over my family and my friends right now. Wedding planning is already stressful and they're just adding to it. Did that sound familiar? Does it sound like you as you plan your wedding? Then this video is for you. Hi everyone, my name is Lola Akingbade and this is Wedding Girl Talk Live. Did you enjoy my alter ego that just came out and showed you guys a few acting skills? Yeah, I was just trying to resonate and connect with every bride out there that might be facing this issue. So today we're going to be focusing on how to involve your family and your close friends in your wedding planning and not completely lose your mind in the process. Wedding planning is stressful on its own, guys. You have the never-ending list of things that you need to do, coupled with managing your family, managing your close friends and their needs and desires and all of that. But at the end of the day, what you need to know is that most times your parents, your close family, they mean well, right? They want the best for you and they want to make sure that this is such a superb day. So whatever they say, whatever they suggest, whatever they do is coming from a good place. But we also understand that you also have so many things that you need to do and you're trying to manage it all at once. So before you throw in the towel, before you give up on wedding planning, I do want you to listen to this video and listen to the helpful tips that I'm going to share to help you plan the wedding with your close family and friends without completely losing your mind. So the very first thing that I would like you to do is to do your homework and really sit down and think through what are those things that you care strongly about and what are those things that you could care less about. And the reason why you're doing this task is because you need to be able to figure out what are those things that I'm not going to be compromising on, what are those things that I can delegate to someone without hovering over them and, checking on them at each step of the way. And make sure you do this task with your fiance because you want to be on the same page as to what's important to you and what's important to him. So make sure you sit down and do this together before you attack any of the issues as it relates to your family or your friends. So guys, the next thing that you want to do is to discuss expectations and to also delegate tasks. This is super duper important, guys. Expectations and people not meeting expectations is one of the biggest causes of issues as it relates to wedding planning. Your mom could be like, but I am supposed to be the one to take you to the wedding, to take you dress shopping, right? And then the bride is like, no, like I was just gonna take my best friend and that's it. So you definitely want to sit down and have those conversations. What are my expectations as the couple of your parents as it relates to wedding planning, and what are the expectations that your parents have as it relates to wedding planning? One thing that you definitely want to discuss is the guest list. Do not brush over the guest list topic. You want to make sure that your parents are on the same page with you as it relates to guest counts. There are some parents that are like, oh, we are having 300 people at our wedding. And you're like, no, we're having 50. And then there is issues there, you're button heads and some people are not happy, all that stuff. You want to make sure that you find some kind of middle ground. But do not brush over guest counts, guys. Trust me, you do not want to do this because I have seen cases where people were invited by family member because those conversations didn't happen, or the couple and the parents were not on the same page as it related to guest counts. So make sure you have that conversation. And in general, just talk about all the different expectations. Your dad might be expecting that he's going to walk you down the aisle. And you might be like, you know what, because of the kind of dress I'm having, you will not be walking me down the aisle. I'm just going to meet you at the altar. Your best friend might be like, oh, I expected that I would be going dress shopping with you. I expected that you would consider me when it relates to XYZ. So make sure that you have that conversation with your family, make sure you have that conversation with your friends. And then when it comes to your family as well, especially when your family is, your parents are giving you money towards the wedding, they probably feel like they should have a say, right? They probably feel like they should be able to tell you how many guests they want to bring. They should be able to tell you what kind of food they want to eat. You make sure that you maybe even set up like a recurring meeting with your family where you can share with them the things that have been done so far, what the decisions have been made, who the vendors are. Now remember, not everything needs to be discussed with your family. Not everything, right? Because some things might actually just take the stress level to another height. So for example, one thing that you may not want to discuss with your family is something like if you have traditional, very, very traditional parents, and you and your fiance decide that you want to do a first look on the day of the wedding. It's not best to tell your parents that, oh, mom, dad, we're gonna have a first look, and they're like, what is the first look? Oh no, you're not doing that. You don't see the groom before the wedding. It's going to be bad luck and blah blah, and then they go on and on and on, which, you know, their point is valid, right? But that is their belief. That may not be your belief. So make sure that you don't have to share every single detail, but share things that will make them feel involved, things that are important, that, you know, that would make sense to them, and things that they would want to be a part of. But don't tell them every single detail, okay? I told you that. Don't tell them everything. All right, guys. And then make sure you delegate tasks. There's so many things that you can delegate. There's so many things. You can have someone help you with picking out favors. You can have some of your family members be ushers at the wedding. You can have family members help you pick up, or friends help you pick up some family that is coming into town from a different country, a different state, that might need, you know, that ride. You know, you can also get some help with like stuffing invitations. There's so many things that you can get help with. Make sure you keep a running list of the things that you have to do and who is going to be helping you do those things. It would really make people feel so much more involved as it relates to your wedding, guys. Communication is key. Setting those expectations, discussing those expectations. And maybe you have that friend that's always like, oh, what can I do? How can I help? And blah blah blah. You can let them know that, you know what, I'm giving you this task, and once you're done with that task, I'll definitely let you know if there's something else that I would need your help with. And if there's nothing, don't worry about it. We got to cover it. But it's all about the approach and the conversation. You know, if you don't even entertain anything that anyone has to say, then they're going to be like, oh, she feels like she got it. She doesn't want our help. She doesn't need our help. And then they feel neglected and they feel left out. So make sure you discuss the expectations and you delegate tasks that can be helped, that can be done during the wedding. Third thing that you want to do is to listen and respond positively. Now, if your dad or your mom is speaking to you, you don't want to be like not paying attention or looking away or doing other things. You want to actually like give them the benefit of the doubt, make them feel like they're having a conversation with you, and also respond positively. Like, you don't have to say, oh no, we're not doing that. Oh no, that's not part of the plan. That's not important to us. You don't want to say that. You want to be like, oh, well, you know, we'll consider that. I'll talk to, you know, your fiance and we'll consider it. I'll definitely let you know if we're going to do it or not. That response will help them feel, you know, more appreciated, more involved in the process. Even though you might be faking it. Yes, I said it. You might be faking it, but you know, you're doing it for the sake of peace and you're doing it for the sake of just reducing the stress level. But genuinely actually listen, because sometimes there's some key things that they might be telling you, both your family and your friends, that you're not considering, right? Especially if you're someone who hasn't been to a lot of weddings recently, or you may not even have a wedding planner. They might be speaking from their experience as it relates to events that they've been to. So make sure you listen and respond positively, even when you do not agree with whatever it is that was discussed. Now, another thing you want to do is set boundaries. Boundaries are important. Boundaries are the places where you're like, you know what? No, I am not doing that, or I'm not allowing that to happen. For example, if there's a family member that you're like, no, absolutely not, I don't want this person there. As long as you have a reasonable reason as to why you don't want that certain thing, make sure you just explain it to your parents or to your friends or whomever it is you're trying to get the message across to. But if there are certain boundaries that are within reason, that make sense, and you can explain why, put your foot down. This is still your day at the end of the day. It's the day that you get to have once in a lifetime, hopefully. So, you know, if there are things that you feel so strongly about that you do not want to compromise on, please feel free to share and let your family know. Now, of course, the conversation might not go well the first time, like especially if it's something that's also important to your parents. But just keep trying, and eventually I'm pretty sure you will all be able to come to some kind of neutral ground that makes everyone happy. The fifth thing that you want to do is do not get involved in wedding events that are hosted by somebody else. So for example, if you're having like a post-wedding brunch in grandma's house, please don't get involved in that. Let grandma, let dad, let mom plan that all by themselves. If they ask your opinion, definitely feel free to share on regarding what they're asking, but don't be so adamant about like the colors, what food is going to be eaten, except if you have an allergy and you want to remind them about the allergy. But let them plan everything with regards to those outside of the wedding events that are hosted by someone else. Because the thing about it is that they're paying, right? And it's very thoughtful of them to put this together for you. So you want to make sure that you're hands off and let them do it. Now, if it has to do with like your bridal shower or your bachelorette, and you have specific desires and wants and things like that, share those with your planning committee. So like your bridesmaids, your maid of honor, let them know what your wish list is, right? If you're really particular about it. But once you let them know what those things are, definitely take a step back and let them run with it. Because guys, they're doing this for you to celebrate you as you go on this journey, and more than likely they're also not taking any money from you to plan this. So let them do everything and be hands-on. It will help you definitely calm down and be stress-free as it relates to whatever that event is, okay? So guys, the last tip that I want to share with you all is specifically for the wedding day. So like we've talked mainly about the planning process, and then for this one, this is the wedding day itself. On the wedding day, if you have family and friends that tend to get on your nerves or stress you out, you want to keep them away from you, right? You don't want that day to be a day where you get to butt heads, or a day where you get upset because of certain things that might be happening or certain people, So if your really close friend gets on your nerves, you want to make sure that that person is given a task where they don't need to be in the room with you while you're getting ready, or be close to you during the wedding, right? It's not mean, it's just a way to just keep your peace and keep your zen and keep that fun joy moment on the day of your wedding. You don't want to be stressed out by someone who always stresses you out, right? And this is also key as it relates to picking your bridal party. You want to make sure that you pick the people who on that day they're going to be surrounding you, you're going to be interacting with them so much. You want to pick people who you get along with and don't cause any amount of stress to you, because that morning, guys, it is super duper important. You want to be calm, you want to be joyful, you want to be happy. The last thing you want to do is be stressed out. Now guys, this is a bonus. By the end of the day, your health, your mental, your physical health is so important. So you want to make sure that you're taking care of all of that. So if you need to take some time off wedding planning, if you need to take a vacation, if you need to go on a date, if you need to just sit on the couch and watch a movie and not think about the wedding, do that, because we do not want you to be so stressed out that you are gaining weight, losing weight, losing your hair, or breaking out with stuff all over your face. You want to make sure that you are relaxed, you're in zen, you're happy. Wedding planning can be fun. There are some things that are not so fun, like maybe picking a venue and having to think through your budgets and stuff like that. But once you're able to get the hang of things, set the expectations, set the boundaries, communicate, listen, and just, delegate, then you will probably enjoy the process a lot more better. So thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you're able to get some great tips on how to manage your family and your friends as it relates to wedding planning. If you haven't already done so, make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell, just so you know when I drop some new videos. And make sure you give us some thumbs up if you enjoyed what you heard today. Until next time, deuces!